Greetings, fellow Sling agents in the wild, and welcome back to the show. It is I, your trusted handler, liaison, GM, DM, ref, and all-around adjudicator, Brian, aka Ryder. Well, we are back from our post-season hiatus, and boy, let me tell you, are we excited for it. We got quite a lineup for you. We have our Interlude, which is going to be dropping in just a few moments, as well as our newest season, Playthings. And then after that, of course, our after-action report. Yeah, I know I've been talking this thing up for a little while. I think it was back during Borrowed Souvenirs that I had mentioned that the next scenario was going to be Playthings. Well, let's get this show rolling. But, as always, before we begin, gotta get to the shoutouts. Over on our YouTube channel, we welcome Mephistopheles de Archon. Welcome to the show, Dark One. As well as Plays with Soldiers, who was inspired to write in. Commenting on Acquired Taste Episode 4, he said, "Hey guys, first time commenting, love the show and loved the balcony jump. Very cinematic. Man needs to have done a superhero landing after that jump. You know, old Ichimaru Kimura does what he does, regardless of the dice rolls, and this season is no different." Hey! He also commented on Borrowed Souvenirs Episode 6, "Hey guys, I really like the way you sorted out how to dual-wield blades. Well reasoned and made sense. Good job." Well, that's one of the many homebrewed rules we've been tinkering with, and I'm glad you like it, because there are more to come. And finally, from good friend of the show, Belligerent Babos. When he found out that the new season was all recorded and being edited, he exclaimed, "Finally! This break was too long without listening to quality gaming. Welcome back." To which I say, it's so good to be back. And then he asked, when will you air the new episode? To that I say, let's warm up our dice and top off our glasses. Roll the Hard 20 presents our homebrew interlude scenario, Science and Signs, Part 1. It's so good to be back. How's everybody doing, brothers?
Doing well.
Start playing some little DG. Make this happen. Another one of our home brews. We've got an interlude coming at you live right now. So let me read us in, and we will begin. Greetings, fellow slinging agents in the wild. It is I, your trusted handler, Brian, and with me, my hard slingers of yore.
Konnichiwa.
Yeah.
Greetings.
Interlude. Science and Signs. Ichimaru Kimura. It's been 5 weeks since you returned from Nepal. 5 weeks since you've tracked down the Sherpa to the Himalayas and destroyed the Dorje. In the first 2 days of being back home, your nights were of restless sleep. The dreams started almost immediately. In fact, you even had one on the quiet flight back to the States with Adesso. In them, you could see yourself almost as though viewing through the eyes of someone watching from underwater during your confrontation with the Yeti. With anticipation, you watched as you ducked under the beast's attack, snatched the Dorje, and spoke the words. And just the way dreams are, you were somehow able to understand those words. By the third night of restless slumber, you reached out to Tengu-sama, your family tattoo artist. And over the course of the next few days, weeks, the old tattoo artist continued the mural he started before you had left for Portland, Maine. Ichimaru Kimura. Tell me about what he continues to sink under your skin and the meanings behind it.
Well, obviously, with the Kimura crest being back on and emblazoned, the 8-legged octopus with the heads of the dragons, but also the return of all the previous tattoos that Ichi had on his skin. the symbology and all of his missions put into his flesh. So there were elements of when we fought dinosaurs and giant dragonflies, and there were images of alien creatures, images of werewolves or wolf-type men emblazoned on his skin, and each at both feels relieved and a bit morose that the ink takes hold. Now that whatever curse was afflicted on him, the wolf curse that he called it, his bloodlust, has subsided. It seems now that whatever was in him and repairing the damages he's doing to his body with the tattoos has gone away, and now he can continue going back on his path to bringing back the Kimura clan, reuniting with his son Kage, and setting up his family name back to where it once was.
As the old man works your back, he's amazed that it's taken hold. You could almost see this fervor in his eyes as this bambooed needle applicator just ratchets up and down. And he, oh, Kimura-san,
This is beyond beautiful. The ink finds purchase.
He pulls away from you, his hands cramping up, sweat covering his lidded eyes, and you just see this yellowed grin as he looks at you.
It is finished, Kimura-san.
As you look at your back in a highly polished piece of metal, your cell phone begins to buzz. Corbin Rice. It's been 6 months since the operation in D.C., an op that forced you and Agent Coldwell to make haste out of the city. 3 weeks later, the agency reached out for a psych evaluation stapled to another operation packet. Operation Ratchet Signal in Stillwater. You passed the psych eval. They probably let you slide because they needed your expertise in isolating and deconstructing computer patterns that seemed like ritual ciphers. And you were the only game in town. Paired up with a team which ironically included your old mentor. A simple op ran from the rears, turned bad on a dime. The result? The ritual cipher spoke back to you, and your whole team got waxed. As the lone survivor, you were decommissioned from the agency's active roster and put on indefinite hiatus. Now, we find Rice sitting in a darkened apartment, a multitude of computer monitors arrayed about him with several keyboards fanned out on his desk. Agent Corbin Rice, what have you been doing alone in the dark for the past 5 months?
So Rice has been this op in Stillwater basically rebooted his brain. He doesn't see things like normal people would see. Everything is overlaid with like a synesthesia, like somebody who can see color. But in this case, it's just raw data. RF signals, IP packets, like anything that has a digital signature, he sees kind of overlaid in the world. And it's causing him to question his reality. Like, is this real? It's kind of like, am I in the Matrix kind of thing, but he knows it's not. So he's desperately trying to find some normalcy in his life, but this signal and trying to determine its source, that's all he can do. All he can do is try to determine its source, decode it, decrypt it, understand it, and understand why he is the way he is now. And as a result, he has broken off communication like with everybody. His brother, his former agents he's worked with. He is entirely isolated himself in this digital, darkness of his apartment.
As you sit there in the dark, the soft glow of the monitors buffeting your face, You look about the room, and even where there are no monitors, you still see code digitally raining down, going across at oblique angles to and from you, out of your eyes, into your eye. It's just one of those things that would almost seem sub-psyche in nature, as nobody else can see this. As you blink your eyes and they fade, they almost come back on recall when you want them to, and dissipate when you look out of the corner of your eyes, when your cell phone begins to buzz. 8 hours later, having answered the call to Heisenberg, the two of you find yourselves driving separately to the parking lot of SeaWorld in San Diego. You make your way to Lot H, and you see a lone man standing out next to a silver Dodge Charger. You immediately recognize him, and he looks at the two of you and gestures for you each to park beside the car.
Each to park? What about Rice?
He's going to let him make that decision on his own. As you guys get out, he extends a hand to you each. Kimura, how have you been holding up?
Better than expected. It seems the ink has taken to the page, and now it's time to turn that page and finish this next chapter. What have you called us for?
Rice, how are you doing?
I'm getting by, Heisenberg. I'm glad you called.
Well, I've got a psych release for you, and he hands you a paper if you feel like you're up to it.
Psych release? What's this?
Well, from what we've been handed through the agency's channels, it would appear that somebody doesn't think you're quite ready to get back into the field. But this says different. And honestly, I need you.
So you think I'm ready for service?
It really doesn't matter what I think. It's about what's going on right now.
And what is that right now?
Well, I've got a hot one coming off the burner. An individual has come on my radar, and as it stands, if you're fit for duty, I need for the two of you to pay him a visit. As of 5:30 last night, a man was picked up by the San Diego Police Department. A call had come in concerning a belligerent individual walking the streets of Old Town. He was muttering, yelling, grabbing people by the collars, visitors and homeless alike, and screaming in their faces. They keep turning it on. They've been detaining him for the last 20 hours, and so far, they've determined that he was not drunk or on any illegal substance. And from what I could gather, at the 24-hour mark, they're going to shuttle him off to be admitted to Baja Vista Mental Health Clinic. It's San Diego's Regional Institute for the Insane. Now, normally this wouldn't require our attention. However, one of the arresting officers, Officer Reyes, reported overhearing him say, "The temporal field will fray." He only said it once, but the fact that he said it at all, I want you to go there and intercept this handoff. We might want to know what he knows. The man's name is Dylan Spencer.
Does each recalls Adesso on our previous mission talking about this temporal field? What do I recall from that? Is this a thing where we can use a new roll, or?
Yeah, go ahead and use that recall roll.
And okay, I didn't read through the latest thing you sent this
Okay,
morning.
recall is
What
intelligence-based, and add 20%.
Okay. Intelligence under 70 for each. 38.
38, you remember that Adesso had mentioned something about a day planner page that was mailed to him that had several entries into it. But it was the Post-it note that was attached to it, that he had said that something to the effect that the temporal field displacement device may have been turned on again, and to not believe everything you see.
Okay. So yeah, that is very similar to what Mr. Spencer here said. They keep turning it on and the temporal field will fray. Okay.
So I want you to debrief this Spencer and determine if he knows something about who knows. But if he's on the level, close him down. It might be our best chance to derail whatever it is that seems to be bearing down on us. And you should probably talk with this officer that overheard this. He might need to be cleaned as well.
So clean the scene.
So this Spencer, you don't want him brought in.
I'm going to let you make an infield decision on that. But if he seems like a loose cannon that we can't have out on the street spouting off a bunch of bullshit, then he's just a liability. If he can't be turned into an asset, he's a liability.
I understand. What we interrogate him with is not going to be anything close to what you and your teams can do. So we'll find out what we can, and if we deem that he has more information and either can't or won't get it, we'll bring him in. Otherwise, we'll find him a nice place to rest.
Now we're running out of time. Like I said, they're going to hand him off to the Baja Vista Medical Health Clinic in about 45 minutes to an hour. We're already behind the clock on this. So you're going to have to get over to the police department and find a way to talk to him.
He's currently incarcerated.
Well, they're just holding him. They really don't have anything to charge him on.
What I meant, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's at the police station.
Yeah, he's down at the San Diego Police Department right now.
Okay. Well, we'll see if we can figure out a way to get in and talk to him, or at least intercept him from getting picked up.
So we're going to... So this is kind of out of game. So, Sammy, we're going to have to figure out a way. Like, how do we get in to see this guy? Obviously, we have our credentials, but we have to have some story as to the reason why we need to chat with this guy.
We can interrogate him there. They're going to have the things on. I'm sure we could turn off a camera like they do in the TV shows, but what if we have to take him out?
So you know a guy. You just happen to know a guy that can probably keep that camera and recording devices from playing out at the time.
Okay, well, maybe so.
So
You'll have to let me know that, because as each I don't think would know yet. So
right.
We'll have to see some kind of a demonstration of your rice and salt powers.
Salty rice.
Yes.
he looks at the two of you and he says, if you're a good guy, you'll be remembered for 2 generations beyond this one. If you're a bad guy, you'll be vilified for eternity. And if they have what I think they have, and they're turning it on, we're going to be seeing an eternity played out right in front of us. He reaches in through the driver's window of the car and he fires up the charger. I'm going to go catch Shamu. And he just walks away from the parking lot towards the entrance to the park, leaving the car running and you two standing right next to it.
Okay. Well, I don't have the heart to tell him that it's not the original Shamu, but we'll let him figure that out on his own.
Or is it?
Could be.
Who knows? The temporal displacement device is active again, so...
Okay, so we can hop in the car and chat while we're on our way. What is the drive time to the SDPD?
About 15 minutes away.
Okay.
So just to be clear, is he at the PD or at this Baja Vista Medical Clinic?
He's at the police department currently.
Okay. And they're looking to transport him to Baja Vista?
He's to be transferred to the Baja Vista Medical Clinic from the PD.
And we only have like a 45-minute to 1 hour window to achieve that.
Yeah.
Interception. Okay.
So I don't know if this would work, but we could always go under the guise of this is an investigation with this guy. Since he didn't do anything really super felony or whatever, we could say we're going to take him into our custody because he has some information on a case that we're investigating out of Quantico, whatever, or for Quantico. And maybe we can get him to where we'll take him out of the thing. I doubt our handler will let us do that. But if also, we could also say if they're uncomfortable with that, we could have an officer accompany us. Officer raised. If you want to come with us, you can accompany the prisoner. And I don't know if that would be a real legit course of action. I bet we could probably BS our way out of, because they're just taking him to a loony bin. It's not like he's in anything special. If FBI came up and said, hey, we want to, take this guy for, he has some information on a pending investigation that we have, I'm sure they would say, all right, we'll just sign the paperwork and get him out of our hair.
Or, so handler, what's the distance between the PD and the medical clinic?
We're 15 from the PD, so it has to be pretty close.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably within a 15, 20-minute drive.
Okay. I was just trying to, maybe we can talk our way of, hey, we can transport him for you.
Yeah.
Us bookmarked by, 2 police vehicles to make sure we don't do anything crazy. But 15 minutes is not a lot of time.
Would they care that much, you think, about this guy?
It doesn't feel like it.
It sounds like a loony.
Yeah.
Like they're not even filing any charges on him. They just have him and they're going to send him over to the loony bin to, I guess, psych evaluate. Is that how that will work, handler?
Yeah, that's what they're going to send him off to, because they're just there. They were under the pretense of arresting this guy who may have been under illegal narcotics or drunk or assaulting people, which he didn't really assault anybody. I guess unless you count grabbing somebody by the collar, but you could tell the guy was not altogether there.
He's just acting up.
Yeah. But once they made the determination that he wasn't drunk or on any drugs, they're like, well, let's just move him down the line and let them make the determination where he's at right now. So
then I say we can probably, I don't know, we'll see what Mr. Handler lets us do. Is like, hey, he has potentially some information about a case we're working on. Let us transport him for you. Mm-hmm. I think that's the path we go.
And I would think, aside from what Heisenberg said, Officer Reyes said he heard him say the temporal field will fray only once. So I doubt that this guy even will remember, he might have put it in his report. But even then, that's nothing. That has, it has no bearing on anything. So I don't even know if we need to worry about this Officer Reyes guy. I think the main thing would be to intercept this Dylan Spencer and interrogate him and be done with it. Plus, this is just an interlude, so it's not going to take that long.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's best course of action. I agree with you. I don't think the local PD isn't going to make the connection like we would about this temporal displacement, and to him it's just some crazy guy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get moving over there because we're on the clock.
So you arrive at the San Diego Police Department at 7:30 p.m. The parking lot is well lit and packed with cars, police units, and civilian cars alike. You see the doors, people going in and out, well lit from within. As you make your way inside, you see the desk sergeant sees your entry, and he makes eye contact with the two of you, giving you the "may I help you" nod.
Okay. Do you want me to take lead on this, Rice, or do you want to go in? You're probably more technically proficient at the jargon than I am.
Sure. Let's give it a shot. So Rice will approach the desk and say, good evening, officer. My name is Agent Rice. This is my partner, Agent Kimura. We're with the FBI. We're here to speak with somebody you have in custody, Dylan Spencer.
He looks down at a book, turns a page backwards, probably going towards the previous day, and says, it looks like we picked him up last night. We got him in the back. From my understanding, the boys over at Baja Vista are due to pick him up in about 40 minutes or so. What's this about?
We believe that Mr. Spencer may have some information about a case that we're working on. And it may be tangential, the information he gives us, but we believe that he may be able to aid in our investigation.
Okay, look, you probably want to talk with Detective Laredo. He's the one that's overseeing the transfer. He's over in the back. Let me buzz you through, and I'll page him to have you come forward.
Great. Thanks, officer.
And one One thing as well, we were told that an Officer Reyes had spoken with Mr. Spencer, and if we could have a moment with him as well, just to follow up and ask him a few questions at what possibly Mr. Spencer had said, that would be appreciated as well.
Sure. Let me take a quick look. Yeah, it looks like he just brought his unit back about 45 minutes ago. So I know he's somewhere on the premises. He's probably either taking a lunch break or he's getting ready to go off shift right now. But I don't think he's left the building yet.
If we could just get a few minutes to talk with him, that would be great. If not, we can always follow up later.
Okay, I'll try to locate him, and I'll let Detective Laredo know once I find him. And he could let you agents know if that's okay. Sure.
Great, thank you.
So the desk sergeant admits you through the door, and you see an individual standing way in the back at a desk. Looks like he's putting some papers in a packet, and he's looking at you two, and he starts walking towards the two of you. He's like, "Agents, I'm Detective Laredo. What can I do for you? You got some with a guy I'm about ready to transfer over?"
Yeah, hi, I'm Agent Rice. We heard that you may have picked up a gentleman, Dylan Spencer, that may be able to aid in an investigation that we're working on. He's not a suspect, but we believe that he may have some information that could be useful to our investigation.
Yeah, Officer Reyes picked him up last night. We currently have him in the back. You know, the guy was all over the place saying a bunch of weird stuff, whatnot. I don't know much more about that other than the fact that the transfer papers have already been emailed over to Baja Vista. So technically he's their problem right now. We're just waiting for the custodial handoff. Did you need to speak to him before we let this guy go?
Yeah, that'd be great if we could speak with him. And we'd also like to speak with your Officer Reyes as well. Your front desk officer said that he may still be on premises. Would it be possible for us to speak with him as well?
Yeah, he's around here somewhere. And you can see that there's cubicles throughout the whole bullpen, and you see an individual leaning against one of the exit doors, and he's talking on a cell phone. He's like, "That's Officer Reyes right over there, talking on the phone." I believe he's about ready to get off clock right now.
Would you mind calling him over so that we could speak to him while he's here?
Yeah. He walks over to him, and you see the two men start to interact, and Reyes puts his hand over the cell phone. And then you see Reyes look over at the two of you. And he puts the phone back up to his ear, and he ends the call. And the two men walk towards you. Detective Laredo says, "This is Officer David Reyes." The officer looks at you two agents and says, "What can I do for you, agents?"
Well, real quick, since time is of the essence here with the pickup, did we want to split up and do this individually?
I think Spencer will probably give us is where we should start. And then Reyes, we can always follow up. Like, we can find out where he lives or, wherever, and go talk to him.
So when Officer Reyes comes over, I'll introduce myself. Officer Reyes, Agent Kimura, fellow Agent Rice. We had some questions to ask you, but it appears that Mr. Spencer is going to be getting picked up soon. So if you don't mind, I'd like to maybe find a place where we can talk, and then Agent Rice can go speak with Mr. Spencer. And then when we're done, you can show me where I can meet up with Rice.
Yeah, that's fine.
I know you're getting ready to take off, so it's not going to be a long questioning thing. Don't worry. It's just more of a make sure that we dot the T's and cross the I's, And I give him a wink because I'm joking.
Is that all right with you, Bill? And you see Detective Laredo looks at him and says, "That's fine by me." Agent Rice, is it?
Yes, sir.
Why don't you follow me and I'll take you to a room where you could have a little talk with this Mr. Spencer before they pick him up.
Excellent.
And
thank you.
He starts leading you through the bullpen. Reyes is looking at you and says, "Do you want to talk here? Do you want to go outside?"
Wherever it's a little bit more private. I also don't want to keep you too long, so we can speak wherever you're more comfortable. But I may have some things to say about an existing case that, I don't want everyone in here to hear about necessarily.
He's like, yeah, why not take you to the locker room? That'd probably be the best place. There's not a lot of... We're already coming off a shift change, so there'd be minimal traffic going through there. So he leads you in the opposite direction that Laredo and Rice had gone.
Okay.
Laredo rice. Sounds like a meal.
Sounds like a Southwestern dish.
Yeah, no kidding. He takes you to the locker room, and you see that all the lockers are closed. There's maybe one or two officers straggling as they put their belt on and leave the room. And he sits down on one of the benches between the lockers and says, What can I do for you, Agent?
Each will take a quick note too. As we were walking to the locker room, is he fully in his police duds? He's armed and all that?
Yeah, he hasn't dressed down. He's
Okay.
not in his civvies. He's got his sidearm on him. He's got his billy club, his stun gun.
Pepper spray, taser,
Yeah,
handcuffs. Yeah.
he's got it all.
Standard police love kit.
Yeah, Officer Naughty.
Well, yeah, if you don't mind, I had some questions about Mr. Spencer that you brought in. Was it last night, this morning?
Last night, yeah.
Yesterday, okay. Yeah, and I heard that he was yelling at people and harassing people. And, was that really it? Was there anything of note that he did that would cause him to be, maybe a person of interest here? Or is he just another loony walking the streets of San Diego and you're shipping him off to get evaluated?
I don't really know where this guy's mind is at, but he was saying some things, and I gotta be honest, Agent, I left it out of my report because I don't want to be in this guy's position. But some of the stuff that he was saying, something about a temporal field displacement device, and he said something about, what is it, the Aqua Fortune. And I Googled it. And there was an article on there by a writer named Ramirez. Agent Rice, we follow you and Detective Laredo, and he shows you to a door that says Interrogation Room Number 2. He opens the door and you see that there's a lone table that's bisecting the room with one chair on one side of it and another two on the other side. You see the walls are comprised of sound-deadening material with a lone camera in the corner just above the door. And he says, Agent, if you want to have a seat in here, I'll bring this Spencer to you, if that's okay.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. I'll just have a seat here and wait. So this room, you say is one camera. Is there a light on it or anything that I can see?
Make an observation check.
That is a 73 over 65.
You can't see if there's a light on it from your angle. It might just be that it's either not on, or maybe they intentionally leave the light off to maybe dupe who's ever sitting in this room.
All right, so I'm going to remove, because I carry a sling, kind of a 10, 12-liter sling that's got, all my
Fanny
backup
pack.
tricks. Yeah, fanny pack, yeah. No, it's a European satchel or whatever they call it.
And purse.
And I'll pull out a device that looks kind of unassuming. It's not all technical and stuff. And I'm just kind of searching for any frequencies or signals. And I'm kind of looking, along with this special ability I have, I'm using this device and to see if there's any power to the camera or it's actually recording.
You can tell that there is power coming from the camera, but I'd like for you to make a luck roll with your D20 against mine.
D20.
Roll high.
17.
17. As I said, you detect that it is powered up, and you start to hear footsteps making their way towards the door. A few moments later, the door lock unlocks. The door opens, and a different officer brings in a tall, thin man with round spectacles. He's wearing faded jeans and a blue flannel that's misbuttoned. The officer brings him in and sets him down in a chair that's in the far corner opposite of the camera. He handcuffs the man to the chair, and then he looks at you and says, "Just wave if you need anything," and he points at the camera. As he leaves, he closes the door, and you could hear the lock engage once again.
Oh, shit.
The man remains quiet as he watches you from across the table, just waiting.
All right, so out of game, is it possible for me to try to either jam or introduce some other signal into the room that may, block the audio or make it garbled or anything like that?
Possibly some kind of a white noise maker might drown out the acoustics, but you'd have to talk really soft, like below that, to get that across.
Okay. So I'd like to at least attempt that, because I'd like to keep this as secret as possible from, recording devices.
Okay.
Because this device I have can do that type of thing.
Give me a technology roll.
Come on, baby. Come on. Critical success, 55.
Okay.
Under 60.
Nice.
And even though I'm introducing this white noise, I doubt anybody is like really recording this, because these officers seem to be pretty, they're not like heightened.
Being held.
Yeah, he's just being held. The handcuff was kind of interesting if he's just being held for a psych eval, but...
Well, yeah, because they don't know if that's why it's locked, too. I'm surprised they didn't ask you to get rid of your weapons.
Yeah.
The man sitting across the desk from you just eyeballs you, waiting. He watches you turn on this white noise maker, and he immediately knows what's going on. But he's just waiting.
So, Mr. Spencer, my name is Agent Rice, and I understand that the San Diego Police Department has picked you up. You were acting kind of odd and strange and saying some things that kind of heightened their awareness that you might be having a mental health crisis or something. Can we have a discussion about what you were talking about and what may be going on?
Who are you affiliated with again?
I'm just affiliated with a federal agency, sir.
Well, maybe that's what I'm trying to avoid, is dealing with anybody from a federal agency.
I'm not with a federal agency that you would typically be, aware of. Look, I'm here really just to understand what you may know, and perhaps I can provide some assistance for you.
They just keep turning it on. Every night. Turning it on, just trying to get it right. And I guess I kind of lost it yesterday. I sold out the human race, and all I got for it was a life sentence.
A life sentence?
What kind of questions are you gonna ask of me that I haven't already been asked?
All right. Well, let's just cut to the chase then. Who are these people that are turning it on and getting it right? And how are you involved in these persons that are turning this thing on? I'm just trying to understand, sir, what it is that you're speaking about. I haven't spoken with the police department, the detective, or the officer, so I don't fully know, other than that they thought you might have been having a mental health crisis.
No, I'm not having a mental health crisis. Like I told Detective Laredo, I was on my way to work last night. I got within 50 meters of the Corona when I heard the humming. I paused and turned around. Then a short time later, I was being placed in the back of a police car. They said I was belligerent and yelling at people. Look, my temporary lapse in judgment is going to force my employer to send a cleanup team to take care of me. They have no choice. I shined a light on what should have remained in the dark, at least for the next 2 years. So before I say anything else, how are you going to offer me protection? Because there's no way I'm going to say another word here. And he points at the camera, and then he points at your little noisemaker. I'm just not going to do that. Because as it is, not only am I going to be given a life sentence, but they're going to take your ass out too. Agent Kimura, you and Officer Reyes are sitting in the police locker room. Reyes looks at you after he's just explained how he's been researching some of the things that this Dylan Spencer has said. And he looks at you and he says, yeah, I've been finding out a lot of stuff about this Romeo Ramirez guy. You know, before he killed himself, he had had some kind of an adventure in the Wasatch Mountains. What did you say your name was again, Agent?
Agent Kimura?
Agent Ichimaru Kimura, correct?
My friends call me Ichi.
Apparently, Romeo Ramirez was one of your friends.
He was a nut job. Worked at a tabloid magazine. Some say he killed himself. Me, I think he set the whole thing up and is still out there writing on a bunch of other crazy things.
Oh, I don't know. I mean,
Nice enough guy, though.
This guy was talking about the Aqua Fortune, about the Wasatch Mountains, something about a temporal field displacement device, and that was the thing that really got me because, see, I like going down these rabbit holes. And so when I heard this Spencer guy talking about that last night, I was able to recall having heard that phrase before. I mean, this
You hear a lot of crazy stuff. You go online. Pizzagate, QAnon, certain people are aliens or skin changers or the
They
moon
are, though.
follow. JFK was killed by aliens, you know. All this stuff
Yeah,
crazy people believe.
I heard that.
Listeners, that's what Ryder believes too, so I was just having fun.
How do you think I get this handled? But you know, a lot of the stuff that he said really resonated with the way things are going in society right now. And I can't help but think that maybe the man was writing truth. He was bringing it to the light. Even my wife, I mean, she thinks the same thing. And he kind of holds up his, waving his phone, even though it's not on.
Is that who you
know
were
of.
talking to? I hope I didn't interrupt.
No. I was just telling her to make sure that she kissed our baby goodnight. Because it
I'll
looks
do
like it's
an
going to be a long...
intuition check on him and see if he's fibbing.
In
Can I do
regards
that?
to what?
If he's telling his wife what he said is true. Like if he's lying or not.
Okay.
Like if he's just like, that was the wrong number, Okay, so with that, intuition under 71.
Yeah, it'd be intuition.
52.
Not, yeah. No, he's telling the truth. He's on the up and
Okay.
up. Everything he's telling you seems to be truthful.
Okay. What are you going to believe? The writings of people online? So if that's the case, that all this is true and that I was friends with Ramirez, a man who supposedly killed himself, how does that make you feel now that I'm sitting right in here talking to you now?
He stands up and he takes a more aggressive type of posture and he says, "It makes me feel like maybe you're threatening me, Agent. That maybe you have something to do with what happened to Ramirez."
I'll show my hands. I'm not threatening, but if everything he said is true, it's not me you need to worry about then, is it? It's the people who control the people that control the people. And I'll just give him a smile and laugh. I go, I'm just joking with you, man. I'm just joking with you. So I'll just kind of laugh it off and go, hey, man, I just wanted to find out what this guy said. We have some questions for him. My fellow agent is talking to him now. But if you have any questions for me, you obviously know more about me than I know about you. So if you want, you can give me a call, or if you have any questions for me now, go ahead. Otherwise, I need to make it to the room, which I hope you can show me to, because I don't know my way around this place.
Yeah, I'll take you to the room.
Did you have any questions, Officer David Reyes, before we take off? You seem a little concerned.
Yeah, I'm kind of concerned that a great individual like Ramirez is no longer amongst us. And yet of 3 agents to have come out of the Wasatch Mountains, only 2 of them are still alive now, and one of them appeared to have absorbed some kind of infliction.
Ramirez wasn't an agent. He was a reporter.
That's
So
true.
The only 2 agents, I forget, we do so many of these. Who was the other agent that was with us? Do you remember?
Yes. His name was Agent Coldwell.
Coldwell.
Yes.
I believe I remember him. Isn't he some sort of U.S. Marshal?
From last I heard, yeah.
Well, I don't really recall that. I think you may have some stories mixed up. But unless there's anything else you want to ask me, I'd love it if you could show me to my associate. I have to question this. What was it? Dylan Spencer? And we'll be out of your hair.
Follow me, Agent. I'll be more than happy to take you to him.
Okay.
And he makes your way down towards the interrogation rooms, stands before interrogation room number 2, raps on the door. From inside the room, Rice, you could hear him banging on the door. You hear a key being inserted into the tumbler, releases, the door opens, and you see Officer Reyes standing next to each. The officer gestures for each to enter. Each, you see Rice sitting on one side of the table with an empty chair right next to him, and across from him is a gangly man with glasses, jeans, flannel that's misbuttoned. And at the side of you, the man that's sitting on the other side of the table leans back and kind of gets a little quiet. And then when he sees the officer behind you, his eyes get really wide.
Okay. What seems to be the problem, Mr. Spencer?
Is the door shut now?
No, the door's still open right now. He's waiting for you to go inside the room before he closes the door.
Yeah, I would say we want to get you inside the room and that door's shut away from Reyes.
Yeah, I was asking him. So as his eyes get wide about Reyes, I'll ask Mr. Spencer, is there a problem? You already know Officer Reyes.
No problem.
I'll look at Reyes and go, he sure seems to be freaked out about you.
Probably because I'm the one that put him in the back of the car last night.
Right.
But he'll be somebody else's problem shortly, so it's not a big deal.
All right.
You gonna go in, Agent, so I could close the door?
Yes, that would be nice. And do we just knock if we need to be let out?
Just wave to the camera.
Okay.
Somebody's at the observation desk. They'll see you.
Thank you, Officer Reyes.
Yes.
Hopefully I've answered your questions, and I'll hold out my hand to shake and see if you will.
He shakes your hand,
All right.
but he doesn't look you in the eye. He looks down at your hand as he's shaking it. Then he lets go and starts to turn.
Okay. And just for everyone, let's just keep what we said under wraps because, like I said, Mr. Spencer has another investigation pending. I'd hate for anything to get out.
You bet, Agent.
Yes.
Understood. He closes the door, and you hear the lock engage. It's like an auto lock. As soon as the door closes, the door locks. Safety measure in case something goes sideways in there and perhaps an inmate takes somebody's weapon. They can't get out and start running Terminator style through the whole building. Spencer looks at you each, the new individual that's been introduced to this dynamic.
Agent Rice, catch me up on here. What's happening?
So we haven't had a whole lot of time here to catch up other than our friend here, Mr. Spencer, seems to know a few things, but I haven't really had a chance to delve deeper. But he believes that he may have sold out the human race. And from what I can tell, it's based on something that he may have done or knows or been affiliated with. And I was about to, enter into a line of questioning with him. One thing that kind of piqued my interest, though, is he mentioned that there may be a person or team or somebody trying to kill him and that we may potentially get wrapped up in those assassinations or deaths or killing, whatever you may want to call them. So, Mr. Spencer, you mentioned something about a corona that you...
The corona.
The corona. Was it a sound or was it a...
No, the corona is a ship.
Oh, the corona's a ship. And were you working there on the corona or...
Yes, I was.
Okay. And then you mentioned that there may be some people that are seeking to harm or either end your life. What is that about? I mean, all of this sounds very, very benign. You're working for somebody and now they want to kill you? That doesn't make sense.
Well, I'd love to tell you all about it, but you're going to have to wait till next episode.
I'm going back and listening to Lot 27.
Let's see.
Tony cracks me the fuck up, man.
Yeah. Hey, did you ever finish Little Treasures? What'd you think of that?
Okay, so Little Treasures was fucking legit.
Dark.
I would say it's definitely in one of your top 3 homebrews. And I always say this. Sammy, you and Tony together you guys are so dialed in, so good together. Like listening to you guys on these are really fantastic.
Oh, awesome. Thanks.
But Little Treasures it was pretty dark, dude. I was thinking like, fuck, man, you're really going there with this episode with kids?
Yeah. Well, that was the whole premise behind, like even Acquired Taste was still kind of dark. But when we brought out the borrowed souvenirs, that was our palate cleanser. Let's wash some of this darkness out and get back in with a little lighter fun.
Yeah. That was the Hunter episode, the Scooby-Doo episode, something that's just like, I like this,
Yeah.
I like the janitor taking swipes at Ichi.
Oh, in Little Treasures. I was trying not to kill him.
I know. It was
I tried
funny.
so. Well, I did. I didn't kill him. Someone else did.
You didn't try hard enough. If you'd really tried, he would still be alive. Actually, he was alive. They took him to jail. That's right.
Yeah, and then he ended up. That's why I said someone else killed him, not me.
Yeah.
For me, the suspense of Sam going into that basement of Miller's house while Tony was up there like distracting him. I'm like, dude, every time I'm waiting for you to like fail a roll and the guy to like freak out. It turned out great, but oh man, I'm like, oh, don't get caught.
Yeah, that was a little. I don't think that in real life that would have happened that way, but it played out great for like a story and a drama.
It was really
right?
good.
Like,
I liked it because you didn't expect what he was. That he was something more than. Because I remember, it's funny because I started. Sorry, I could put all this on the back end. It doesn't matter. Right. When I started re-listening to it, Tone had even. No, it wasn't that one. Was it that one? That was Little Treasures, right? Yeah. When I go back and I listen to the first episode, Tone even said that he thought that Father Miller was a red herring, and that he believed that witches might be responsible for that. He says it in the first episode.
yeah.
But then he overcomplicated some of the investigations because there were so many people to unravel and stuff that, and I understand, like as agents, you guys are trying to investigate all this stuff and trying to put the clues together and see which direction this whole thing's going to go, and what kind of monster are we dealing with this week, or is it an actual cult? Is it what's going on? But
I sometimes get when I listen. There's a lot of times that I'm waiting for more investigation. Sometimes I feel like you guys are rushing through the episodes or the investigations. And I don't think it's intentional. I think it's just the pacing, because we're trying to fit everything in 1 hour and not have, 30 episodes. But
Now, is that while you're listening to it or while you're playing it, though?
No, while I'm listening to it, even.
Okay, that's intentional, though, because I have the ability to edit these things into like a faster clip at times, or to let the suspense hang. But there's
Well,
sometimes
it's never us rushing to fit in the hour. It's just the franticness of these things. Like it's always, oh, there's some child that's going to die. And then instead of just going like, okay, well, so let's go back to that one thing. It's like, nope, we found out we don't have time to because most of these things, like, correct me if I'm wrong, Ryder, like these take place like in a half day or a day at the most.
usually
right?
a day and a half at the most. Like unless it's called for you guys to stay the night,
we're
there's
in
usually
town.
a reason why I'll have you stay the night. Like especially if it's a homebrew. If it's usually though it's handled within a couple of hours, so it's boom boom, get to town, start investigating stuff and shit.
And we
immediately.
forget so much shit. Like the notes are awesome, being able to write those, but even then, there's so much stuff that because of the frantic nature, I feel like I never looked in the well in that little treasures. Thank God I didn't. Like there was or in the fridge. I didn't look in the fridge or something like that. There was something where we were just because it's like, oh, now we're gonna send over a fucking thing and firebomb the place. It's like fucking great. We got to get out of here.
That was a good call.
And that's a thing that we've been doing lately too, is trying to work it out to where Ryder will go, okay, this is happening. You have 5 turns you can do before you need to leave. And it's like, fuck, wish for more wishes. No, I can't do that. Shit. And it's fun though, because it really makes you go like, it's not like where you can just like, okay, well, I'm going to check the drawer. No, I'm going to check the second drawer. I'm going to open the drawers and look on the bottoms of the drawer. I'm going to look on the underside. It's like, fuck, we don't have time for that. Now, that's probably where real things would happen in like a drug den. They'd be hiding something underneath a drawer that's on the bottom, whatever. But it's again, I think I like.
But if you're going through a house frantically, you're not taking the time to look underneath. I mean, you're pulling drawers out and throwing them on the ground and see what's behind you. Next one, boom, boom, and each subsequent drawer is more frantically yanked out. So it stands to reason that you only have 4 or 5 turns to go through. Okay, I'm going to check the shower real quick. I'm going to check behind the toilet real quick. I'm going to check where's it? Oh, there it is. I got to get the hell out of here, because this boat is going to burn to the water line. So
yeah, that's why it said in one of the previous either after actions or something, each is going to be carrying like an empty tote bag. And then when we need to, he's just going to start like dumping stuff that we may or may not need. Because I don't know if, like we left that one museum in the last one with tons of stuff in it. And it's like, well, what if Heisenberg actually wanted us to destroy it or say, it's like, nope, I'm just going to bring it with us. And then here you go. Give me a new tote bag. This one's full.
I'll close. Final comment on this is that everything that's done is on the clock. Like everything is on the clock in these episodes. But if I take a step back, what's cool about that is it adds a level of spontaneity to the recordings and to the investigations that you normally wouldn't get. And that spontaneity is really cool because people have to think on their feet quickly.
yeah, I mean, that's like coming in someplace cold. You don't know what it's about. And I'll add this to that and then we'll begin. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Like there's no reason to rush through it, soak it up, absorb it. Like we said, sometimes it starts off as a slow burn, then it ticks up, and then it settles back in, and then it ticks up hard on the back end. So, with that said, let us begin. Thank you for joining us once again on Roll the Hard 20 podcast. Remember, you can find us and subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora Radio, iHeart Radio, Amazon Podcasts, and Audible. And if you like what you're listening to, be sure to leave us that 5-star rating and review. Don't forget about our YouTube channel at Roll the Hard 20. So if you're into watching and you want to help support the show, then head on over and hit that subscribe button. It really does help the show out. We can also be found in the wild on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, so don't forget to look for us there and check us out. You can also contact the show directly at rollthehard20podcast@gmail.com or head on over to the website at rollthehard20podcast.com, where you can download the current show directly, pick and choose past shows from our archives, or view our galleries. We've got a lot of stuff posted over there, so check us out. And finally, join us on our Patreon at patreon.com/rollthehard20podcast, where you can become a hard slinger and pick up swag. So until next time, keep your dice warm and your glass topped off as you roll those hard 20s.